We're live. Welcome to Chasing Destiny. This is a different platform that we're taking on today's episode. It's not it's not a conversation about retro video games. It's a conversation about Destiny and what it's done for myself, Elliot, and my good friend.
Oh, might be. I mean, hey, you were cooking. I was gonna let you cook.
No.
Yeah, we wanted to come at you today as not content creators, but just two friends who bonded over this game over the past 10 years. We all have that game that gives us that nostalgia, that gives us that feeling that we continue to chase a game after game, year after year. And for Elliot and I, that game is definitely Destiny. So with all the news surrounding Destiny lately, we thought we would come on and just not complain about Destiny, but just talk about all the great things and all the great times that were had in Destiny, and how games aren't so much just about the gameplay, but about the connections that you form with people. And that game was definitely Destiny for us.
So kind of giving you all the backstory behind it. Greg and I started gaming on Halo 3. And a lot of trash talking happened back then. A lot of folks, I had some folks I was working with, they didn't know I gamed, and they said, "Hey, Elliot, you want to game with us tonight?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's do this. Let's go. Let's do it." And man, they talked the most trash at work. And I was like, "How long have y'all been playing Halo?" "Oh, we've been playing it forever." I was like, "I will 1v5 y'all." And they went berserk. So I called Greg and I was like, "Hey, I got some new folks I'm working with right now, and they're talking mad trash." He's like, "I'm like, do you want to get on the game?" He's like, "Oh yeah, let's do it. Yeah, I want to spectate. Let's do it right now." And that's how it started. So we gamed how many years were we playing Halo together?
Gosh, it was from 2010 to 2014. Yeah. Until Destiny.
4 years.
Yeah.
And then the beta for Destiny 1 dropped. Mm-hmm. And it was like nothing we had ever seen before. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, we play fighting games, we play RPGs, we play all that stuff. All that stuff's great. But it was like the first time, like we built a small community of people around Destiny. A lot of friends, a lot of folks we still talk to, like folks we've gone to weddings with, all this stuff. And that game started kind of that family of people.
Yeah, very true. Very true. And what's interesting about Destiny is Destiny happened by accident. We'd all gotten Xbox Ones, and at the time there just wasn't a lot going on in the Xbox One space. We were still playing our 360s and playing Halo Reach or playing like Titanfall, because we just didn't have anything to really play.
Yeah.
That interested us on Xbox One. And the big thing that we were waiting for was the Master Chief Collection. If you remember, we were really waiting on that. And Destiny kind of started to surface, and we're like, you know what? I'm gonna check out this beta, and maybe Destiny will last us until November when Master Chief Collection comes out. We can just continue on down our journey of playing Halo. And man, when I loaded into that beta, I remember the wife and I, the original three of us, by the way, was myself, Elliot, and my wife, Candy. We were the original fire team. Mm-hmm. One Warlock, one Titan, one Hunter. Mm-hmm. That was kind of how it all went. And we loaded up that morning, and I played through the beginning.
The
Cosmodrome at the beginning. And I remember texting you and being like, "This is going to change everything. Like, you have to get home and play. Like, this changes everything."
I was trying to download it, and my internet was trash.
Oh my gosh!
It took me forever to get it downloaded. Yeah. Oh, it was so bad. I was so upset because you were like, "Oh, you were so hyped about this game." I'm like, "Oh my god,
dude,
let's go!"
This changes everything, and it did. It changed everything. I put something like 70 hours into that beta, and there wasn't a lot going on in that beta. It was, you could run around in the Cosmodrome. They released Crucible for like a day or two, and you could do one strike.
And they released the Moon for a weekend.
They did for a weekend.
Yeah.
And I remember when that beta was over, I didn't know what to do with myself.
Felt like crack fiends.
I would randomly, like, there'd be some days where I would turn on my Xbox and I would just click on it. Like, maybe they accidentally turned it back on so I could play. And that, like, I've never like been like that about a game really since, like, that was for you. I think that was the first game that was really like that for you.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
To a point to where it just, I want to invest so much of my free time into it.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's, to this day, the only game that I have taken off of work multiple times, and I've taken a week off of work for that game. That's
for sure.
You know, I know people take, they take time off and stuff like that, maybe play it over the weekend and go 4-day weekend and do their thing. But I'm talking about we're taking a week off and we're putting in like 8-9 hours straight playing.
Easy. Eating a whole bunch
of unhealthy food. Man, we gotta get off. We gotta go get something to eat. Let's take a break. We'll come back tomorrow. Yeah. And then we're still texting each other after we get off.
Right.
About the game. It's crazy.
It was crazy because if I wasn't playing it, I was thinking about it.
Yes.
And for me, like, the big game that I had been, when Destiny came along, the big game that I had been chasing was Final Fantasy 11. I'd been chasing that feeling, that like sense of wonder, that sense of community, because it wasn't just about the gameplay, right? It was having a group of friends that you could just fiend over the game about, right? To talk about. To his point, if we weren't playing it, we were texting about it, and we worked opposite shifts, right? So like, if he was off work playing and I was at work, I was like getting in trouble at work because we were texting about the game. And it just, I never thought that I would have that feeling again until Destiny. And then Destiny came along and I was like, finally, it's the game that I can't like stop playing. I can't stop thinking about. And when that beta ended, I remember we were like fiending for any information we could find. We were scouring every Twitter. Like, I think I got Twitter just to get information about Destiny. I didn't even have Twitter at the time, I don't think. And for literally from June until September 14th, which is when the game launched, we were just like absorbing any piece of information that we could find about the game.
And it was all speculative stuff. Like,
a lot of it was,
planets that were going to be unlocked and stuff like that. But when we finally did get into the game, it was more of a, okay, now we really get to explore. Like, during the beta, we got the Cosmodrome down, so we knew where we were going, but there were still secrets in the game that we just didn't know. That was the biggest thing about it. Like, the loot cave happening.
Yeah.
The first time you had an exotic Ingram drop and you just lost your mind, and then Xur having Gallarhorn
the first week. Yeah, I remember that at launch. And honestly, we didn't know how good that weapon was. Like, my wife bought it with her Strange coins, and I saw how it looked. I was like, that looks really cool. I'm gonna go buy one. Little did we know it would be the most busted weapon, and Xur would not sell it again until literally over a year later.
Yeah, it was like a year, almost 2 years. And the craziest thing about that is I had the Strange coins for it.
Yeah.
And I was like, that don't look good to me. I don't want it. And then I went out, then I was on vacation so I was out of town. And I remember you and Candy both were like, oh my God,
it's nuts.
And I'm like, and then you start seeing the raids pop up. And folks were like, must have galley. I'm like, no.
Actually, it was the second week he sold it. The first week he sold Red Death.
That's right.
Yeah. And nobody had enough Strange coins to buy anything.
None.
Because you couldn't do the heroic enough. Like, you couldn't do the highest level of heroic because the leveling system was so different then.
Man,
right.
And I can remember going to Venus, scouring through Venus for the first time, and then you see like these massive group of people huddled up around this area, and you're like, what's going on? What's happening? Where are all these people in just open world? Why are they shooting everything? Where did they go? What's this door opening up? You don't know what's going on. They're going in the Vault of Glass.
Oh yeah, I remember that. We were patrolling and we're like, what's going on here?
Yes.
And they were opening the Vault of Glass and you could help. I remember we helped people open the Vault of Glass.
That was before we even raided.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah.
Vault of Glass to this day still is my favorite
gosh.
raid. My favorite raid. And you know what? Funny enough, it took me 45 runs to get Galley. I got the one run.
I thought you got Galley from Nightfall. No, you did get Galley from.
I got Galley
out of Glass.
At a Bog, and I got Vex Mythoclast that same run.
The same run. Oh, because you got Galley from the secret chest.
Yes,
I remember that.
Yes.
Yeah,
and I was like, finally. And I'm over here with what was that rocket launcher?
It was Crota. The one from it was from Crota. It was I forget what it was called, but it was basically like we got Galley at home.
Yeah, Galley.
It dropped off of Crota, I think. Yeah,
it dropped off of Crota. So we were using that until we got Galley. And
not we. I had Galley.
Rob, you had Galley, and you had Vex before I did.
I did on a run that I wasn't even gonna join. I just got back from like a magic tournament or something. He's like, dude, we got 5. We need 1. Get on so we can run Bog. And I was like, bro, I'm tired. I really don't want to do it. He's like, we need 1 more. I was like, fine. And I got on and got it. And he was hella mad, bro. He was so mad,
bro. I was hella salty. Yeah. And then you went into the Crucible that weekend and just obliterated everybody.
That gun made people that were terrible. So I got it after the first nerf. So the first Vex Mythoclast.
The first nerf, didn't you?
I got it after the first nerf. The first nerf just nerfed the ammo. Because it had 57 rounds to start. Like, for what? Like, why? They dropped it down to 32 thinking that would fix the problem. I'm like, 32 rounds is still enough to wipe an entire team in Crucible.
And that's like, exactly what would happen. It has such a unique sound to when it fires. Yeah. That, like, he's got Galley, run.
Yeah, like, I would load in a Crucible, and I would hear it, and I'm like, all right.
Or not.
There's a flow chart's going to happen. If person with Vex is on my team, stay. If person with Vex not on my team, we orbit. Because I'm not dealing with all that.
Definitely orbit.
Because there was that guy, remember, and we're kind of bringing it back to the community we would end up building. We ended up forming a raid team off of just random people that like we met along the way, right? Like, remember like Clay and his group?
Yep.
The only reason we met that group is because this girl I worked with met them and brought them into our group, and then she went off and went nuts or whatever. But yeah, that's a whole different story. But so that formed our clan. Our clan formed because of that random one-off relationship.
Yeah.
But the funny thing was the first person in our group to ever get Vex Mythoclast was this guy. And bless this guy's heart, bro. He was absolute trash at Crucible. But he got Mythoclast and he went in the Crucible and just started deleting people, bro. I joined a Crucible game with him because I had to see. I was like, bro, I have to see what happens. He joins this game. This guy has an average of like a 0.4 KD. That was his average. He joins this game and just drops a cool 30. He drops 30 easy. He goes like 30 and 5.
And that's when they nerfed it.
Just deleting people. And I was like, bro, this gun is goofy.
And there
he didn't even know what it was. He's like, what's Vex Mythoclast?
Oh, that was the guy I worked with.
Because I brought him in
it too. Yeah, I brought him in.
He was about to delete it. He was about to delete it.
Did I just delete this? And I was like, no.
I don't like fusion rifles. Should I delete it? I was like, oh no. I'm like, if he deletes this gun, Elliot's breaking everything in his house.
The very first time he runs the raid and he gets on the first run. Like, I knew people that were running on 3 different characters.
I think I had like 15 or 16 runs before I got mine.
It was
on that accident.
It was about 30 or 40.
Yeah, it took a cool minute for you to get yours.
It got to a point to where I got so good at running Bog that Scott is another guy we used to game with. Me and him could the portals at the very end, right? So me and him would solo the portals. We would run with other groups. These groups wouldn't know anything about it. Just stay out here, stay alive, kill everything. Boom. We go in there. We be in and out 15 seconds, and both sides of the portal come out, do damage phase, and then run it again. And then nothing would drop. Nothing would drop for us.
That was a tough drop. It wasn't actually the rarest weapon either.
It wasn't.
Was not Praetorian Foil, which we did see one person get it. One person got Praetorian Foil.
I think I got that before you know what?
The one person that got it was Ricky. Ricky was the only one that ever got it.
I got it.
You got it after they did the Adept version.
Oh,
when they did the rotating raids.
Yes.
Yeah, that's when I made it, because that gun, it was the rarest gun in VOG, was Praetorian Foil. And there was a fusion rifle and a pulse rifle. Praetor's timepiece. Sorry, but Praetorian foil was rare, but like Praetor's timepiece. Because remember, we took Ricky through it. We took Ricky through normal first because he get to do normal before he could do hard.
Yeah.
And he ended up in just like those couple of runs. He got Praetorian foil, Fatebringer, Vex Mythoclast, and timepiece. I think he got all 4 because he got a double drop from the gatekeeper. And he was just like Praetorian foil, and I was like, "Stop it! You did not get that guy." He was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Okay, well, good job."
So let me ask you this question, like before we kind of like start migrating our way into Destiny 2, because I mean, like Destiny 1 was, I mean, even right now, there's still a lot of people that have either stayed or gone back to D1 and playing. I mean, you and I both, we recently started new characters in D1, and there's a lot of people playing.
There are a lot of people playing. Yeah.
Like surprise. Like there's thousands of people playing the game. Not all at once, but cumulatively, there's people still playing the game. Now, coming from D2, and I hadn't played D2 in a couple of years up until the last, week and a half, we started playing D2 again.
We came back to D2, yeah.
Going back and playing D1 on 30 FPS is tough.
It is not great.
It's tough. It's a
tough.
Little
It's tough. Yeah, it's definitely different. Yeah, with the zoomed in FOV because there's no FOV sliders.
Yeah,
it's different, but it almost kind of adds to the charm of it a bit, right? And I mean, and Destiny 1, even though we hold it in such high regard, it had peaks and valleys, man. It had peaks and valleys. And I think we have to talk about that a little bit, right? Because the game first comes out, one thing that was really irritating for both myself and you is we played on Xbox. So that means we didn't get certain maps because they were PlayStation exclusives. Hawk Moon and Monte Carlo were not available to us the first year. Things like that. So for starters, and then the first expansion was not great to me. I ended up taking a break from the game when after the Dark Below came out.
I remember.
I just was like, this expansion is not good. It doesn't really do anything. The raid was starting with Vaults of Glass, man. That's hard to follow, and they didn't do a great job, in my opinion, of following it up.
Well, I mean, especially when you can, disconnect your internet connection to beat the
to beat Crota, and that was. Man, you couldn't give Destiny players an inch. They took a mile. They'd find a way to cheese anything. Because you cheesed like the Templar cheese. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
There was all kinds of gnarly stuff you could do to cheese stuff. But the Dark Below it wasn't a good expansion. And then they followed it up with House of Wolves. And I came back for that. House of Wolves was cool. It gave us Prison of Elders, which was really challenging. And it gave us Trials of Osiris, which we did a couple times. Did
you ever
go to the Lighthouse?
Yeah.
Twice.
Okay.
Yeah, twice.
Same.
Holy shit. That was so sweaty.
And now that I think about it, you and I never went to the Lighthouse together.
We did once.
Did we?
We did once. One of our each 2 times was with each other. Yeah, it was me, you, and Birch.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember. Yeah. Man, we were so hyped when we won.
We came back from down for our 9th win from being down 4-0. We won 5 in a row to go to the Lighthouse.
That's when I was still playing
you were all Sunsinger, bro. Everybody was.
I was
the only Titan in existence, I felt like.
Self-res Warlock.
So
all
dumb.
day.
But yeah, I went to Lighthouse twice. But then everything changed. This is when Bungie started showing their ass and being like, okay, this is what we could do with this game. This is why you've stuck with us to this point. They dropped the Taken King. That expansion, it changed all the rules. I remember because I think I saw the picture of like me, my wife, and Ricky all standing at GameStop picking up our copy at midnight with our Clan t-shirts on. You remember? And then we got up at 4 a.m. to start. Was when it went live. 4 a.m.
We were doing that raid every Tuesday night.
King's Fall?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is that King's Fall? Oh, that was
King's Fall. Well, yeah, because we talk about that too, because that expansion was amazing. The problem is we went through a content drought that lasted a year. So we were getting on every week, just going through the motions, right? Just to kind of get that little dopamine hit of what Destiny is. But it wasn't. I mean, we had everything we could ever want from that raid. We'd get on and do it once just to say we did it. We wouldn't do it 3 times. We just do it once on Tuesday nights. And
that's all you really needed, because I mean, there wasn't like
anything
my
crazy.
Opinion, what you had the
touch of malice,
right, and touch of malice was all right. It was an okay weapon. I mean, it was good in that raid if you had the self-res bubble and all that, and you were running that to defeat the
we used to 16 bomb Oryx.
16 bomb them
16
and all
bomb
that.
Them. Yeah,
dropping Nova bombs like crazy, and just it and then like if you start moving forward, the dreadnought was really cool. Like finding the hidden ghosts.
Yeah.
And then what was it? What were the little items that you found in the dreadnought? Oh my gosh.
Oh, there was also the Court of Oryx.
Yep, Court of Oryx.
That was kind of that was probably the first destination kind of like cooperative event thing. It was the first one was Court of Oryx, which was cool.
We saw something similar to that in D2 on Mars.
With Mars and the Dreaming City
and
had something kind of similar too. Yeah, you're talking about calcified fragments, I think.
Yes, calcified fragments.
The dreadnought. Yeah, and that was that was another thing that was so cool too, is finding the hidden ghost for Grimoire score, and like and the lore of Destiny 1 was so good, but they gave it to you all in Grimoire cards. With the lore, man, Bungie, they do gunplay in my opinion better than anybody, but you have to kind of give it to them as far as like really building lore around their game. Like there's a guy his name is Bife, and he breaks down all the lore in Destiny, and he had like a 10-hour video at one time, and I sat and watched the whole thing. I was just so enthralled with just how deep the lore of Destiny actually goes. It is extremely cool. But Taken King, we had that big content drought. And then Rise of Iron, they did a little update to Prison of Elders, and that kind of satiated us for like a little bit. And then Rise of Iron dropped. And, as much as we love Vault of Glass and King's Fall, man, Wrath of the Machine was solid. Yeah. From a mechanic standpoint, because everybody had a job. It wasn't enough to just do damage. Everybody had a job.
You had to be good.
You had to do your job. Yeah.
It was a solid grade. I did like the exotic out of that. I did like
Outbreak. Yeah. Outbreak was dope. Man.
The nanites and those were really dope to see.
Bro, speaking of, remember exotic bounties?
Oh yeah.
What a great mechanic that was. It gave you a reason to do bounties. You would turn in a bounty and it had a chance to like pop an exotic bounty. And the exotic bounties were actually pretty involved, right? Like Thorn was an exotic bounty. There was a fusion rifle that was an exotic bounty, and I think so was like Truth. Maybe
was one. Maybe I think
I can't remember, but they were so good. Like, and they were like fun to actually go through and try to complete. They were really good. I kind of wish they would have continued doing things like that.
And I really like the factions too in D1.
Grinding for faction rep for the shader.
That Dead Orbit shader was. I had like a level. All I wanted was black shader.
Like 90, bro.
I was level 122 when I got the black shader. Andy got it at level 13. I was so pissed.
Yeah, she's got it. I was like, oh. Okay.
She's like, okay, I got it. I'm done. I'm like,
this shader's kind of cool. I was like, oh no.
Okay. I got the ship, got everything. But and that kind of brings me to this next segment that we kind of discussed, because like when the Iron Lord's introduction, that's when we got to the tail end of D1, and honestly, a lot of folks we were playing with were kind of taking a break around that time. We weren't raiding as much anymore. I was in Crucible a lot. I was running Iron Banner. I was doing that on my own. Crucible weapons were really good, and from at least the Iron Banner weapons were really good. And then D2 gets announced, right? Yep. So now we're playing the waiting game. And we went from all these, ebbs and flows of D1, and we felt like D1 was in a really good place
It was.
to continue us on to something really, really, really special. And then D2 vanilla drops, and we're like,
yep.
You get a car, you get a car, you get a car, you get a car. We're
Yeah.
like, whoa. Where's the
Yeah, it didn't feel. The thing about Destiny is that at the end of the day, you're a space wizard. You know what I mean? I'm a powerful guardian. I need to be doing powerful guardian shit. And even though we got new abilities and things like that for Destiny 2, Destiny 2 Vanilla had a lot of problems. It did a lot of things right.
Yeah.
I really liked Vanilla D2 Vanilla story, the Red War, and going to the farm, and then going to the back tower. You can't even play it now. I really liked that. The way that story was told and the way you unlock things, I thought it was really well done. From a campaign perspective, I thought they knocked that out of the park. The problems, though, one of the problems, let's start with, they made sniper rifles and shotguns heavy weapons. So then we entered what we all knowingly love as the double primary meta, which no one liked. Everyone hated it, including me. And on top of that, one of the things about Destiny that gave it really longevity was random rolls on weapons.
Right.
You were always trying to grind for that god roll. Well, in Vanilla Destiny 2, all weapons had static rolls, so that was all gone. What you got was just what you got. And then the problems, kind of extended from there into the Crucible. They removed the 4v4, the 6v6 format, and made it 4v4, and tried to make it more like an arena shooter. And I'm like, dude, no, I'm a space wizard, man. Yeah. Let me do space wizard shit. Yeah. Like, I don't want to. Now, what they did also nail to me outside of the campaign was the first raid. The Leviathan was dope. Because it was the first raid where you unlocked it similar to Vaults of Glass, but then once you got into the courtyard, you kind of decide which part of it you wanted to do first, right? And then once you got all three encounters, the other door open. And then the Leviathan itself was a giant explorable space, which I thought was really neat. But Vanilla was tough, man. It was tough to get through, and it took us out of the game for a while.
Yeah, to a point to where I think what had happened is like we were really trying to force it to be good, because I can remember we took off for D2.
Yeah,
I remember the queue was packed. Like we were in a waiting queue to get in. The server was flooded with gamers ready to get in there and get started. And the weapons didn't feel like D1. They all felt the same. They all hit the same. They all sounded the same. And then it took a little while for things to kind of readjust, right?
It did.
Go. And I think where we kind of ended D2 was what? How many years ago is that now? Almost 3 years?
Where we ended, because we took a break in Vanilla because Vanilla just wasn't. We tried to come back for Curse of Osiris, but even that, Mercury wasn't great. What really turned things around for us on Destiny 2 was when Forsaken came out.
Yeah.
Because that was basically, I put Forsaken up there with Taken King. I would dare say that Forsaken is a better expansion than the Taken King, in my opinion. Because the raid was fire. It fixed all the things that we were mad about. It gave us not one but two destinations. You had one of the coolest raids in Destiny, in my opinion. Like, when I rank raids, like my favorite raids, number one is Vault of Glass, and some of that could just be nostalgia. Number two is The Last Wish.
And I didn't play Last Wish raid. I don't even think I did it.
I think I did it once. I was like, this is incredible.
I did it. I completed that raid once, and to be honest, there's maybe 4 or 5 raids in D2 that I haven't even done.
There's more than that. There's more than that, I think, because you got to remember we stopped playing at the Witch Queen.
Yeah,
after we did the Witch Queen, and we never did Val the Disciple, which was the raid from the Witch Queen. Because the last raid I think we did before Val was Deepstone Crypt.
Oh, we did a lot of Deep Stone.
We did a lot of DSC, but we didn't do anything after DSC.
No.
I think we did the Vault of Glass remake, which I got the jacket for. BT Doves look real nice. And then we did the King's Fall rework whenever they redropped King's Fall. And then that's it. So there's mad raids, because there were raids that we didn't do in between, right, when we came back.
Yeah.
Because if you remember, right, like during DSC, there was a kind of another kind of like falling out, a big fracture, because a lot of the people in our clan would come back and they would play real hard and they would just leave, and it would just be the three of us just try to carry the banner forward. And we ended up coming back for like Vault of Glass.
We came back in 25 seconds because Scott got it finally. We did a run. He got it to drop. And then he stopped playing.
Straight up
stopped playing right now. He's like, I can
do that, bro. Because I still don't have it.
I know you don't.
And I was on my like 25th run of VOG.
That's
I still don't have it.
And they're buffing it.
Yeah, no, bro. We got to try to get a group together. I got to get this thing.
We definitely got to get a squad together. Like this.
Yeah.
Next week is the big release, the last release, the last update, folks. That's why we're doing this. This is what we're talking about. The last update for D2. And if anybody was watching the state of play yesterday from Sony,
which I missed, by the way, unfortunately.
I went back and watched it.
Yeah.
But, God of War looked good. I liked it. But if you were watching on YouTube and you saw the chat, give us Destiny 3. Flooded the chat. The entire session, the entire showcase. Give us Destiny 3. Where's Destiny 3 at? Now, is that going to happen? Probably not.
It's tough.
It's real tough, especially after that kind of news. But I do like seeing. It's one thing when the community's loud about it and they're saying, hey, this is still a game that we want. This is still something that we need. But when you have like the VAs, the voice actors coming in, doing like these massive speeches and scripts about the game, like that's something special, man. Like
it is. Yeah. Yeah, 100% is. It shows the love that the community has for it. And even though it's lost a big player base, things have not gone well. Bungie's made some decisions that have driven away some of the player base, but the love for that core gameplay loop is still there. No other company's ever been able to really replicate it. If you think about it, they've tried. We've had like Outriders, we've had Anthem, we had The Division, but Bungie just has the formula, man. They just have it.
And I would probably say the closest, longest running game next to Destiny. I won't say it gives it a run of its money by any means, but is Warframe.
Warframe, yeah.
Because I another Fire team member of ours who we no longer game with, which was one of the sole reasons behind why we stopped playing Destiny, because this person was a crucial part of our Fire team outside of his wife Candy. We had a falling out due to some personal stuff, and it sucks when you've been playing. You create these relationships with people when you game, right?
You do 100%. Yeah.
It becomes more than just the game, because now it's like this is your time to just decompress, talk about life, talk about the fam, talk about the relationships, talk about what's going on. It's not just playing. You're playing the game still, but you're doing that in tandem with your conversations with your people, right? So these people listen to your kids growing up over the mic. They listen to hearing about your relationship issues. They listen to the new accolades that you got at work. These are the people that you talk to on a daily basis, while you're also detaching from the reality of life and the day-to-day BS that we have to deal with. It's like, I call it gaming therapy, I guess you could say, right? And Greg and I have had this thing where it's turned into this weird scenario where we end up comparing every damn game that's multiplayer that we can collaborate and play together on. First player games, all that's separate. But when we're talking about a game that's a shooter, that's really in depth, has a decent story, that has more than just getting on, a PvP and just shooting everybody up, but it has more depth to the game, we compare every single game to Destiny.
Yep.
Diablo. We may play it for a week or two or a month, and then it's like, we're done. We may play COD for 2.5 seconds or Battlefield for 2.5 seconds, but we're done. Destiny was the thing that had this weird kind of relationship. It's like one of those family members that you're like, man, I love them so much. They get on my nerves sometimes, but I have to invite them to the family gathering every single year. It's like that. It's like one of those things. It's just one of those weird situations, and I don't know. And you know what? Ark Survival. Have you played it, G?
No, so the wife played it. Whenever she took her big break from Destiny, that's what she was playing. So whenever, she took that, she kind of stepped away from the game, and then the person that we were talking about kind of stepped in as that third fire team member.
Yeah.
That was kind of the game that she was off playing. And
what up?
Yeah, we tried things like Conan. I remember we tried that for a bit.
Oh, man, my wife hated Conan.
Because all the
so for those of you who haven't played Conan the Barbarian, it's like you build all these huts and fortresses and castles and all this stuff, and you can go into a village and capture people and turn them into your subjects to manage your buildings and all this. And she comes in one day and she's like, what are you playing? I'm playing Conan. She's like, why are they naked? I'm like, I haven't clothed them yet. So she comes back the next day. Why are they still naked? I'm like, I haven't clothed them. You had a whole day to clothe them.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, yeah, dude, and that was just one of the many games that we played. We played that. We tried Power World. We messed with we played Warframe a little bit. We played The Division. We played Borderlands. I mean, we played a ton of stuff. And just nothing compares, man. It's weird. And sometimes we would spend hours not really even playing the game. We would just be running around the tower
or the Cosmodrome. It's literally the guy. People, I always describe it as it's the game where friends became family, right? That,
in a sense, it's where we became family. In a sense, we may not share blood, but in my mind, you're my brother. And that relationship, I listened to your daughter grow up over the mic, like you mentioned, and you just form that bond. And it's just, and when you form the bond over that game, no matter, people might look at that game and be like, that game's trash, but to us, it will always be special because that's what it was. And what's interesting is, at the height of Destiny, we didn't understand at the time how good those days really were.
No idea.
It's not until we've gone back and looked at it, like, damn, these really were the good old days.
No idea, man.
We had no idea.
Do you know how many times that I go into my game room, sit there, I turn on whatever console, and I'm like, damn, what I wouldn't give to have just a weekend where everybody's back online. We hop on Destiny and we just go and hop in a raid and just shoot the shit the entire time that we're talking and playing, and whether that's running strikes or whatever. It's really weird, and we talk about nostalgia a lot, like in video games, and majority of the time that's your classic stuff like your Marios and all that stuff. But it's a little different because when you're playing a lot of those games, you're playing them solo for a lot of portion of the time. You may have someone who's in the house that may want to play for 2.5 seconds, but they're not dedicated like you are to it. So we end up moving towards the more modern version of okay, I know I can talk to this person online. Oh, they're online. Let me send them a party chat and see if they want to hop in and play the game, right? And when you have so many like-minded people that are like that and that hop on the game and they enjoy the game just as much as you do, and they find this, it's so weird to see how Destiny has You play it for so many hours, and there's always something that you've never seen.
Yeah.
It's so crazy to find, like, how did I miss this? I've been in this area 50 plus times. How did I miss this? How did I not know this was here? Just because you're so primarily focused on something else. And it could have been, we were just in the middle of a good conversation. I can probably name both hands, both feet, counting on all nubs, how many times we've had a saying in a party chat that literally collapsed the entire party chat in laughter. And we would be mid-mission. Everybody did, because we can't even concentrate. Greg's over here in tears, crying, can't breathe. He's choking. Andy's over there running to his room to see if he's okay, because he's over there on
pretty
the floor
sure I almost died laughing one time.
And those are the best. Those are the best times right there. Those are the memories that you want. This game brought that. Sony, I get it. Y'all got to make money. You make money when we make the memories.
100%.
Let us 100%. Keep something. Let us keep something. And by no means, like, I get it. Is the game flawed in some areas? Yes, it is. Every game is. There is no perfect game. I don't care what you think. There's always going to be someone that's going to give it a hell. I've given 5 out of 5s, 10 out of 10s. Does that make the game perfect? No. That just means that I am passionate enough about that game to understand, like, this, when I give something a 5 out of 5 or a 10 out of 10, that is a game I can continue to continuously come back to over and over and over again, year after year after year. Those are the games that are the best to me. Like, the fact that I can go back to a game that was on the original Xbox and graphically it's trash, frame rates trash, I don't care, because the game story is what kept me involved playing it. May have played it 20 times. Mass Effect, perfect example. Play that game 1,000 times. Always find something new every time I play it. Always.
Yeah, 100%. And
games that are just, and then you want to talk about it with somebody.
Yeah, 100%.
That's what you want to do.
Yeah, 100%. And what was really interesting about it is that it brought in people from, like, my like one of my best friends, Ricky, we've been friends for 25 years, and we became friends through competitive card games like Magic the Gathering, right? He video gamed a little bit, but he was primarily part of my Magic the Gathering group of friends. And I remember, like, he saw that I was playing this game, and I remember I lost an entire day playing this game, which is an interesting story, because he was like, hey, he calls me, he was like, hey, do you want to come and play at Friday Night Magic this weekend? I was like, bet, I will come play Friday Night Magic, no problem. He calls me on Friday. He's like, hey, man, what time do you want me to come pick you up? I was like, what do you mean? It's Thursday. He's like, no, bro, it's Friday. And I was like, I looked at my phone. I'm like, damn, you're right. Like, have I been up for 24 hours? I think I've been up for 24 hours.
Did you eat?
No. I lost an entire day playing Destiny, and then after he went and bought an Xbox. He's like, I have to see what this is about, because he'd never seen me do that before. And he would hear me with you off and on, because I think I was off for some reason, and he went to work at some point. Yeah, I just lost a whole day, and I was like, huh?
Because I got off work, came back, I was like, bro, you still
on? Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
And that made him go, wait a minute, because I, like, when we would actually, like, talk, I'd be talking about this game, and I'm like, oh, me and Elliot did this, and he was like, huh? I was like, he's like, that's interesting. He was like, he went and got an Xbox, and he pops up and it sends me a party invite, and I see he's playing Destiny 1. And I was like, oh my God, I ran him around the tower, and he ended up playing Destiny with us all through Destiny 2. No, it's not healthy. You're absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. I do not recommend. Keep in mind, this was many years ago. This was before I think I was like 29, 28. Like, I was much younger. I cannot do that now. Those 14 to 15 hour Destiny benders that we used to do, I cannot do that now. My body just doesn't.
I will share, against my own will here. And well, I probably shouldn't share this. I put too much information out there. There's been many times where I have fallen asleep on this
smooth asleep,
snoring it up
in a strike
in a strike, out cold, because we've been playing for like 7-8 hours straight.
Gone.
And
I'll look over and his character's looking up.
Shooting.
I'm like, this man done fell asleep, bro. I'm like, E. He'd be like, what? I'm like, I was like, bro, go to bed. He's like, I'm not asleep. I'm like, my ass, you're not asleep.
Go right back to sleep.
I heard you snoring. But we didn't care, like, and it's happened to both of us. Like, not as many times as if you fall asleep, but I've done it once or twice. Like, I've nodded out like that, caught myself. And you think, okay, I'm just gonna go to bed. But there was this man. And the game, it gave you that sense of wonder. And that was what I was missing, bro. Like, that sense of wonder. I remember sitting in the Cosmodrome.
He says new games just don't have the same feeling. Nothing but loot boxes,
booty boxes.
Pay to win stuff these days. I don't enjoy multiplayer anymore.
And he's right, though. But that's like, I remember like sitting in the Cosmodrome during the beta, just staring off into the distance and going, I wonder what's out there. Like, I wanted to know more about the world. I wanted to understand what happened. Like, how did it get this way? Like, just that sense of wonder. And we ran around the Cosmodrome in that beta for 50 hours.
I probably
just talking about what could be.
So my top 3 most played, or actually top 4 most played games, hours-wise, are Halo 3, Halo Reach, Destiny 1 and 2 combined, and Warframe.
Yep.
Oh, so there's actually 5 games or 6 games if you want to count it like that. And I put a lot of hours in Warframe within a 10-month period because that was the time that we took off of Destiny. And that was my Destiny fix, and I got really hooked on it.
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, hey, we're coming back to Destiny. Like, you got back on. You're like, hey, bro, it's time to come back. It's time to come back to the light. Come back, Guardian. I'm like, man, I'm over here on Warframe, bro. I'm good. But you're like, come back. Okay. And it was like, you never leave, man. I would probably say, and I probably could look this up, but I probably have maybe three years worth of hours into Destiny total time.
3, that's a lot, bro. You sure? Because one day is 24 hours.
I know.
Because to put it in perspective, I have 270 days played of Final Fantasy 11, and I played that game from 2004 to 2012.
I might be over. I might be over those. I'll look it up.
I know you have at least 2,000 hours, or 3,000 hours between the two of them, for sure. Because you have more hours than me, and I think I had like 1,100 hours in D1 and about 900-ish in D2, maybe 1,000 in D2. But regardless of how many hours, like you put hours into that game, it's definitely your most played game. I think had things not gone the way they did, I think it would have become my most played game. If not for the breaks that we took and the things that happened that kind of caused us to stop playing.
What's your most played game? Or is it
Final Fantasy 11? Okay. Yeah. I think I have close to 300 days played over, almost 10 years of playing that game straight, like of basically never stopping playing that game. Because even if I was on playing Halo with y'all, I had it up, like doing random stuff in between games on Final Fantasy 11. So a lot of that is just standing around, but still, it's that sense of wonder, man. No game has ever been able to capture it. I think the only people that can is Bungie. They're the only ones that can.
So that brings me to the next portion of this. So, Bungie being the game that it is, we call it just at a loose level a looter shooter, which it's a lot more than that, in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
And then we got Marathon. Like, you've played Marathon.
I played the Server Slam, yeah.
What is your, and it's not an apples to apples comparison, but what is your thoughts on Marathon right now?
Marathon is a good game. Off tops, it is a good game. However, it's not a game for everyone. It is an extraction shooter. It's a full loot extraction shooter. But all the DNA of what makes a good Bungie game is there. The gunplay is peak. There's lore behind it. There's storytelling, but it's aimed at a very specific audience of people, right? You're not going to just casually jump on Marathon and do something, I don't feel like. right?
Yeah.
It's an extraction shooter. And if there was some other, if like the extraction part of it was almost like the Crucible, where it was a game mode and then there was like an actual PvE part of it, then I think it would attract more players. Now, if you like extraction shooters, Marathon is for you. I think it's better than Arc Raiders. I think it's better than Tarkov, my personal opinion, for an extraction shooter for that genre. If you like extraction shooters, you should definitely go check it out. I think that it can definitely, with updates and time, I think that it will end up climbing to the top of the looter shooter market. I just think it will. It'll basically become COD and Halo again, Marathon and Arc Raiders for the extraction shooter space. It's kind of what it'll be.
Let me ask this question, because I've seen this comment dropped online a couple of times. They could have just put this game mode in Destiny.
It's kind of like people saying give Halo a battle royale. You know, sure you can, but the people that play Destiny they're just it's a different group of people.
Yeah, it is.
You're looking for different things, I think, out of an extraction shooter versus what you get out of Destiny, right?
But and to that point, you have a game as big as Destiny is, with a multitude of different, avenues that you can take. You can do strikes. You can go roam around. You can do raids. You can do the Crucible. You can have all that. The thing about it is you've got the folks that are real sweaty at the game, right, that want to do the most elite stuff, and you have to have the most elite stuff to do it. And then you've got your casuals that hop on maybe once a week, or maybe twice or three times a month, and they just want to get on and shoot some stuff, get off, and they're happy.
Yeah.
That's kind of and then you got everybody else in between. You've got that in that game. So when you alienate, a portion of your community, especially a community that's been so accustomed to, playing your games for a couple of decades, and for the majority of it, you've got a huge community that's been playing everything collectively together, right? Halo into Destiny, yes, Destiny offered more. I think it's just from the perspective of Marathon, they've reduced quite a bit to more of a niche shooter style.
It's 100% a niche. Yes, extraction shooters are. They are niche in a way, right? Yeah. And that's not saying anything bad about anybody who enjoys extraction shooters. If you enjoy extraction shooters, there are plenty of options on the market for you now. Your main two are going to be Arc Raiders and Marathon. Personally, if it was between me, I would play Marathon. When I played the Server Slam, I was like, okay, like this is like there's a game here. Like this game is actually fun. Long term, when I want to play it every night, no. Because I don't want to sweat every night, bro. I don't want to be out here booty cheeks clenched, worried about somebody taking my gear every night. I'm too old for that shit.
And that's the thing, right? It's because, and don't get me wrong, I know you have to stay with the times, and us boomer gamers us old gamers are over here talking, well, back in my day, we used to have the game on a disc physical, and we didn't have to worry about download. We didn't have DLC back in my day. That's how we're talking now for a majority of us. But if the problem is because we're getting older, we've had so many years in the game, no pun intended, to say we know what we want. Right. So if we're sitting here screaming from the mountaintops, yo, you don't have to, completely reinvent the wheel here. And you don't have to go throw all your coins at this genre of game because somebody over here did it and they're making millions of dollars. Bro, you still got something really hype over here. Continue to invest on that and build on your game, instead of thinking that you need to go and create the next new hotness out here. And what we're finding is a lot of the times that stuff is flopping because people flock to the first time game. They flock to that game because they understand the company that built that understands that. They understand that game. They've had time to tweak it. They've had time to make it right.
Yeah, 100%. And the extraction shooter, the thing about the difference between Destiny and Marathon, Destiny is very unique. Is that no one's ever really been able to replicate it, that really good shared world shooter. We've had multiple successful extraction shooters now. So you're kind of, by jumping into that space where that's already niche, that already has Arc Raiders, and there's another extraction shooter. There's Tarkov, but there's another one I thought maybe somebody in the chat. You're kind of jumping into that, and when really they wanted to be a multi-IP studio, and I feel like they could have. I think they could have done something different with Marathon, maybe, but I don't know. And with Destiny, you know, they made some decisions that started making it hemorrhage players. Mm. So the game is hemorrhaging players, and you're not fixing it. Now, Destiny was healthy, really healthy, and it was gaining players, or maintaining a steady player base, and the community was happy. And they said, okay, we've got the community happy with it, and here's our roadmap. Now we're also going to bring out Marathon. I actually think things would be okay.
I agree.
Right? The people that want to go try Marathon would go try it. And it wouldn't be this whole, like, now I feel like the two games are at odds with each other.
That's exactly what's happening.
Right. They're fighting with each other.
Odds with each other as well.
Yes. Because they're like, you stop supporting our game to go make this. If Destiny's in a good state, I think that Marathon is a little bit more successful. People will be like, oh, you know, hey, whatever. We're happy over here. Things are going well. You know, but Destiny's hemorrhaging players.
And I think the biggest issue, I think where the beginning of the fall, and I've seen tons of videos over the last week. I mean, there's been tons of Destiny videos dropped this week. Numerous creators out there. And a lot of them have some really good valid points. Like, you know, when Eververse got introduced, right? And we started seeing the season pass thing, and like, oh, we get the season pass. Here's the new hot exotic weapon, right?
Yeah.
You removed the grind, the excitement, the dopamine hit that we got, because like when we even talked about this when we shifted to D2. When we shifted to D2, we were like, man, that was real easy to get that exotic drop.
You got one at level 10.
And yeah, you're just level 10. I'm like, why did we get an exotic right here? Like, it took a while for us to get an exotic drop, and it was few and far between. Like, I get it. There's people out there like, I never get one. I'm not getting any. I'm like, well, bro, you're not playing the game enough, right?
Yeah.
It's like, when you're seeing people online getting exotics dropping, you don't realize that person's probably been gaming for the last 6 or 7 hours. Now, I get it. Not everybody can do that.
Right.
So you get on, and all you're getting is greens and blues to drop. I'm like, well, you know, you gotta put in a little time into it, and you gotta be patient. And I know some people want to have their cake and they want to eat it too, but me personally, I find more enjoyment in the game if it feels earned. True. Because I'm just getting stuff just randomly because, okay, I bought this DLC and now I've got the new hottest exotic weapon for the season. I'm like, I didn't earn that. I paid for that. I don't want to pay for my stuff. And
Destiny 2 kind of became like a loot pinata after a while, right? Like Destiny 1, I still remember the first exotic I ever got to actually drop. I remember buying one from Zara, but I remember the first one I actually got to drop, and it was Minimum Multi-Tool from Balls of Glass. Oh, that was the first exotic I remember getting to drop.
You loved Multi-Tool.
Oh, bro, that gun smacked.
So we got a question in the chat. Was Bungie tired of working on Destiny, or did they think they could do both games? And Sony was like, oh, we invested all this money in Marathon, so that's the new main game now. Who asked for Marathon?
That is a great question. So I think what ended up happening was Sony, who now owns Bungie. Sony wants each of their studios to be multi-IP studios. So they wanted them to have more than one IP out there. Now, as far as who asked for Marathon, honestly, nobody. If I'm being honest, nobody. Oftentimes, I mean, whenever a studio is going to come up with a new IP, it's oftentimes not something people ask for, I don't think. They kind of just, you know, they roll the dice. To be fair to Bungie, the extraction shooter didn't have a lot of players in that space. And Marathon was, Marathon actually came out before Halo. They did Marathon long time ago on the PC, I believe.
That was like one of their first games.
It wasn't an extraction shooter?
No, it's different.
It was different, right? So they thought, okay, we'll bring back this old IP that, you know, from way back in the day, we'll make it an extraction shooter. And it didn't go as well as they thought. They thought more people would adapt to it. The alphas and betas were promising. I mean, people had good things to say about it, but
there was a lot of people that had a lot of bad things to say about it.
True. The alpha wasn't great. The beta was really good, though. And the server slam was really good. But games like that, I feel like just don't have a lot of longevity. And even with Destiny itself, right? Games like Destiny, you have to keep providing meaningful content because you're going to have a natural churn of players. Destiny 2 has been live for almost 10 years. That's a long time to play a game, right? And if you look at other long-running games, you look at like World of Warcraft, for example. World of Warcraft at its peak had 12 million subscribers, which was insane. It's nowhere near that now because of just natural churn, right? People are eventually they grow out of playing games like that. But say what you want to about it, it's still maintaining a profitable player base. Will it ever be where it was? No, because the hype train for WoW was at its peak in the mid 2000s.
Oh yeah,
but they're still giving you content every coming out with content. Some of it good, some of it bad, but they're still continuing to support the game and somewhat listen to the community. And one thing that Bungie could do, and it's one thing that Blizzard did, was with WoW Classic, was they could do Destiny Classic.
Do you think that's enough though?
No, I don't. But I think that if they bring Destiny Classic and they make it free, make it free.
Remember, the live service initiative was pursued by Jim Ryan when he was at the time. The only
That's a good point.
Game from that push is Helldivers 2 so far. Helldivers 2 was good. I like Helldivers 2.
I don't know. I just couldn't get into it.
What?
I just couldn't. I played with you a couple times and I'm like,
you just couldn't, like, bro.
I think I was chasing Destiny, bro. I was in my mind. I was like, what's the end game gonna be like? Like,
and
you know what I mean?
You know what? I went into that game not even comparing it to Destiny because I knew that was not going to be a Destiny game. I already knew it wasn't. Like, I think what had happened was I had already gone through that a numerous amount of times with other games, right?
Yeah.
Outriders.
Oh my.
Which.
Don't even get me talking about Outriders.
I know. Yeah,
Outriders is my trigger word. There's a story behind that.
Anthem had the whole, what was it? That was like the E3 announcement back when E3 was still popping. And when we saw that trailer, I was like, oh my God.
Oh my God. But why was that not Mass Effect Online? BioWare, why? You had the IP. You're like, you had a license to print money.
And I'd still to this day, like
when
they had Mass Effect 3 online, it was rough, but it was good.
It was fun. We used to play it.
Fun. You could have built on that. The problem is like you have these IPs for these current games, and someone sees somebody over here with a brand new car, and they want to go and design their new car to look like that new car. No, you've got the car.
Yeah, you had a license to print money.
For the next release of your car and how you're styling it, just add new features on the inside. Add a little extra horsepower. We love that car the way it's designed. We don't need you to make a mimic of somebody else's product. Yeah. Stop doing that.
Because I mean, the reason that
different flavors,
1,000%,
7 different flavors of battle royales and extraction shooters and looter shooters and all that. If you have a lane that's really good, and Destiny has, for the most part, over the last decade, been the top looter shooter.
It's been the only one, in my opinion, that really actually came close, right? And part of the reason this game was so successful is because, before, I mean, you had Borderlands kinda, but this was different. This was different than Borderlands. I hear that comparison a lot. While I don't necessarily disagree with it, this is just different than Borderlands. I think it's a different genre, in my opinion. People can feel free to disagree, and that's perfectly fine. I think I see both sides of it. But man, when Bungie broke away from Microsoft to go make Destiny, and I've heard this, I don't know if it's true, but originally, they wanted to make Destiny, and Microsoft said, no, we just want you making Halo. So they broke away after Reach to go make Destiny. And I'm like, dude.
Dropped Easter eggs in Halo 3 for Destiny.
Destiny awaits.
There is Easter eggs of Halo 3. I'm sorry, Easter eggs of Destiny in Halo 3. And there's an Easter egg of Master Chief in Destiny 1.
Oh, yeah.
You remember that?
You find that in the Cosmodrome, he's in a car.
Yes.
Like, we better not wake this guy up or something like that. But and they went and they dared to do something different because we didn't have that wasn't shared world shooter like that, like an MMO / shooter kind of thing on console wasn't really a thing.
Wasn't. You saw stuff like that for like your medieval style games for on PC, but we have been begging for something like that to come to console, with something was easier to, the quality of life was easier to manage, and you didn't have to worry about mouse and keyboard for folks that weren't mouse and keyboard folks, So for us to get something like that, and it was a shooter, and it felt like, and it was the next best thing to Halo, because once Microsoft got their hands on Halo did not feel the same.
343.
And I'm like, I'm not knocking it. Like, Halo 4 was like, ugh, what is this? Halo 5, I'm like, what is that? Halo Infinite, I'm like, what have y'all done?
Infinite, to me, was their best attempt at it. Infinite is a fine game. But honestly, highlight his comment. I think this is a great comment here about why didn't Sony with their live service push.
Let me pull it up.
I think this is actually a great point. I think I agree with you 100% here, Antique Legend. I think that they should have invested in their already good IPs, right? We don't need to saturate the market with a ton of new IPs, especially in the live service space. And if you do one based on what's already an established like franchise, like a Mass Effect Online or something like that. I would have loved to have seen a new version of Factions from The Last of Us. That was incredible. But even like Resistance Fall of Man, SOCOM,
give me that, bro.
Hey. But Destiny, if they leave, because Bungie broke away from Activision and kind of did their own thing for a while. And that's why they that's when we got the best content out of Destiny 2, is when Bungie was on their own. That's when we got Forsaken. That's when we got and then when they went back under Sony, it was this kind of like, nah.
You got too many folks in the kitchen trying to run shop. Like, man, let these dudes cook.
They need to start doing what Larian does. Like, Larian's like, I don't care about stakeholders. I'm gonna make this game for gamers. If you build it, they will come. Like, it's very simple. Look at Baldur's Gate 3. Game was still winning Game Awards a year after it came out. They were still putting out patches for it a year after it came out.
And you know what? And the thing about it is like, for games like Baldur's Gate 3, for games like Expedition 33, right, where you can throw a patch or two, but when you've got something so in depth like Destiny, you do need a backing behind it. You're going to need the dog, right? Because, and I think the whole Eververse thing, while I hated it when it first got introduced,
it made sense.
It made sense until Sony added the extra layer of like, yo, you need to be making this amount of money every single quarter for this, and this, right? We just dropped $3 billion on you. We need to get our money back.
Okay. Fair.
Yeah,
okay. Fair. That's fair. Were they? No, he's right. Yep, you're absolutely right. They were. That's fair. I appreciate. Thanks for calling that out. You are right. Yeah, that's fair. But Eververse, I thought was fine because it costs money to run a live service game. It does,
for sure. They gotta host servers. I'm pretty sure they host their servers in AWS, and I'm pretty sure that AWS bill is not cheap. I'm sure it's not, but I like I've been saying, I've been watching a lot of Destiny content over the last week or so, and I watched a guy on YouTube take his whole audience through. He's like, hey y'all, I'm gonna go play Destiny for the first time. I played Destiny 1 for 5 minutes years ago, didn't like it. I thought it was gonna be like Halo, and it wasn't. So he's like, I'm gonna go back and play it. So he said, I'm gonna put 2 hours on the clock and I'm gonna go and play this game. He had to call another buddy who he knew that played Destiny because he spent the first 15-20 minutes just trying to get into a mission and didn't know where to go. Didn't know, like, the UI in the game wasn't very self-explanatory. And you know what? I couldn't knock it because I just came back to D2 and I was like, oh my God, where do I go? What's happening? Like
Oh
the,
my
the
God.
interface is like completely changed. And I'm like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to navigate this anymore. I used to be able to go bling, bling, bling. I'm here. I'm going. I'm flying off. And it took me like a good 15 minutes to figure it out. Hell, just to figure out the vault system took me like another 10 minutes. And I was like,
Yeah.
what happened? Where's the ease of use? So I can understand from anyone for the first time, they may hear all this news about the game now. They're like, you know what? I never gave it a shot, but since it's going on its last hurrah, why not? Let me go ahead and throw a couple of hours at the game. And they come in and they're like, what the hell is this? Where do I play?
There's a lot going on. It is a different game.
It's a completely different game.
I came back a couple of months ago and like I got greeted with the Destiny portal and I'm like, what is this? What is this? I don't understand.
Yeah.
But they're changing a lot of that stuff. And you know, this update that they're coming out with, man, why didn't we do this 6 months ago?
Bruh, like you throw the Hail Mary shot now. I'm like, you're literally giving the community everything they've ever asked for. You're doing it on a final update. Do you realize if you had done this a year ago, how many people would have came back and played this game?
100%.
If you knew you were on life support, throw everything you've got at the tank. Just do it.
And I think what they could have done as well, like in World of Warcraft kind of does this. So whenever you start a character, you can kind of pick which campaign you want to play through to level yourself up. And like to allow people to experience the Red War campaign was fire, bro. It was so good, but you can't play it now.
Yeah,
which is unfortunate to me. Like if they could design some kind of portal that would let you play through, like play vaulted content somehow.
Yeah, and you know what? The Red War was really good. It was really
good.
It was a solid story. Like you literally pick up from the events from D1, right?
Yeah, bro. You fly back to the tower, shit goes wild. Shit goes crazy.
And Tower is no more. Tower's over here getting just mollywopped. And Ikora's over here dropping Nova bombs on shit. And you're like, whoa, we're in a movie right now. Like, I'm liking this. And then literally, as soon as that cutscene's over, you got a gun in your hand and it's time to roll.
Yep.
You're rolling. And then you get to the tail end of that scene. And it's like, you've lost your power, Guardian. I'm like, what?
You gotta go find it again.
And you're like, I gotta start all over again?
Yep.
Do I get to keep my guns? Like, no.
You don't even know if the tower, like, you don't know the state of the tower because you got to go to your social space is the farm for the longest time until you actually unlock the tower again. Yeah.
You've got to go back and unlock it again. And then when you go to the tower, I'm like, whoa, this is not the tower, or this is a new tower.
A different tower.
It's a different tower. We're like, okay. And you know what? Kind of when we went back and played D1, I was like, wow, the OG tower.
The D1 tower just hit different, bro. It just does. It just hits different.
It hits really, it's so nice.
The D2 tower is like objectively better, but going to like landing into that D1 tower, I was like,
yeah,
it's the tower to me.
It hits. And you got the
just hit different.
There. He's like, Guardian. Yes, I've been talking to the traveler. Yeah, he's like, it's just over there, just soft spoken everything.
I was like, you ain't talking to the traveler, you are hot on PCP.
And he says, I blame shareholders, non-gamers. Games like Fortnite, COD, Madden for the great games dying because the companies trying to be like them.
100%. Shareholders want their money now. Yeah. I want money now. You don't think about the long term, right?
No.
If you build it, like if we build this game right and we make a game for gamers, we don't worry about deadlines. We worry about building the best possible game we can. The money will come. We don't have to drown the game in loot boxes and shit.
Who has a proven track record for that? Rockstar.
Rockstar. I mean, GTA is GTA, bro. Like GTA.
That's besides
GTA is just on a different level.
Like the thing about it is, this is what happens when you make a good quality game and you make sure it's done right the first time. Is when you have games like that and you go and say, hey, I'm pushing it back a year, and your community's like, damn it, I want the game now, but I respect it because I know it's gonna be good when I get it.
GTA is a cultural event. It's big. It's more than a game release, man. It's the Super Bowl of video games,
right? So you would think a game that large, an IP that big, that other companies would take note of that and say, you know what, we have really good IPs.
Yeah.
We're willing to drop hundreds of millions of dollars on this random game, but we have IPs that have a really good track record that we're not investing that type of money into. Why? Why aren't we doing that? But we're so quick to take all that money that we spent and write that off, shut the studio down, shut the servers down for that game that we just dropped because we only had 100,000 people on the game.
Yeah.
You didn't even give it time to breathe. Or did you even ask your audience? Did you ask your consumer? Did you ask your gamers? Did they want that?
Yeah.
Are you checking the pulse of your gamers right now? The fact of the matter is like, yes, there are a lot of people that do not play Destiny right now. Completely understandable. There's tons of other games out there to play. Completely understand that. But you still have people out there that play this game. You still have people that come out there and play this game.
People will always love this game. Like for us, for some people, like this is the game they're nostalgic for. You know, this is the. You know what? That's fair. You know what? That's fair. You respect. That's fair. Nah, you know what? That's fair. I'm gonna steal that. He's absolutely right. That's facts.
Facts.
That's facts. Yeah, that's big. That's large facts. Yeah, no, it's the Olympics. That is very fair. It's the Kumite of video games every 5 years. No, he's absolutely right. Yeah, because if you think about it, it's been what, 13 years since GTA 5?
Oh, bro.
It's been a minute. It's 2013.
It's been a hot minute. And we've seen how many GTA 5 renditions.
Hey, listen, you know, I didn't actually play through the main campaign of that until 2 years ago. And I was like, damn, this game's amazing. Holy shit.
I had maybe 3 copies.
Maybe 3 years ago.
Of GTA 5 over I don't know how many years that I never played it. And then, oh man, how many years ago until I think it took me like 4 or 5 years after the release before I finally played the game.
I played it like in 2022. I played through the entire game and I'm like, yo, how did I not ever play through this? This game is absolutely incredible.
Like I'm excited for GTA 6.
I am too.
The thing about it is like when you have games like that, there's companies out there that have a formula to it. They're doing it right. They're listening to their gamers, they're listening to their consumers, all of those things. Corporations that buy up all these studios and then they want to consolidate the people and create another micro studio and say, hey, we need 2 IPs from you this quarter, next quarter, what you got? All right, we'll give you this amount of money to build it. Done. And then when it gets dropped and released and everyone's like, this is just another skin of another game that we've been playing for the last couple of years. Why are you guys building this? Did you even see what's going on here? You've got to change it up. You've got to make the adjustments.
You do.
I know. So let me ask this then. So coming up on next week's the final update.
Yep.
We saw the TWAB for D2. Which it's probably one of the best looking TWABs I've ever seen for Destiny in general.
Yep.
What's your anticipation for the folks that are going to potentially come back, play the game? What's your anticipation? I know you're coming back to the game, as I am too. But what are you expecting?
I think this update's going to be great. I think you're going to see a large influx of players that come back. But you know what? The thing that'll happen, that's going to happen, you know, is I don't think the game is going to shut down anytime soon. Destiny 1 is still on. They still have the servers on. It's in maintenance mode. It doesn't get new updates. There's no trials, none of that. No Iron Banner. Now, I do wonder if for Destiny 2, if they're going to continue to have trials in Iron Banner.
Yeah.
Because normally with Iron Banner comes with Iron Banner weapons, but I don't know if there's going to be no new updates. Maybe they do similar to Final Fantasy 11 and they don't give you expansions. They just give you these little mini gear updates and stuff, which would be fine. That'll keep the diehard players playing.
Yeah.
But I think it gives them an opportunity, even though you can't release any new content, find a way to give us a complete version of Destiny 2. Yeah. That I can play any content that I want. Let me go back and replay the Leviathan raid. Let me go back to Mars and do escalation protocol. If you find a way to let us go and do those things, I think the game, even in maintenance mode, will continue to see players. Will it see growth? No, I think you'll see like peaks and valleys. People come in, try the game, and leave.
Yeah.
But I think that diehard steady player base that's still playing Destiny 1, you'll still have a player base like that for Destiny 2. And I don't know. I think if they did something like killing off Destiny 1 and then making like making a one-stop portal where you can go play Destiny Classic or play Destiny 2. Destiny Classic with like, updated frame rate and some FOV sliders, I think would be kind of cool. You could go in and start a new character and just play through that story again from the beginning, play through all the old raids.
I would do that.
I would do that.
It feels fresh.
Yeah.
I mean, you played it all. You played all of it, but it does feel fresh.
It does feel fresh.
You have this question in the comments here. So even if Sony had a change of heart, do you think they would even say they were working on D3 or wait for the Game Awards?
They would wait. They would wait. Because it's making a sequel is not something they could do in a vacuum.
Oh, no.
It'll take them a while to actually make that decision. Then, they would have to figure out, all right, we can't reuse this old engine that was the Tiger engine or whatever it's called. I can't think what it's called. Somebody might know.
About to say that.
There needs to be a new engine, whether it be Unreal or what have you. So even if they decide tomorrow, okay, green light, you can go make Destiny 3. I don't even think we would see a trailer for 3 years. And even if there's that trailer at 3 years, I think we would be 7-8 years out from the game after that. I think that game would take 8 or 9 years to make. If they decided right now they were going to make Destiny 3, I don't think we would see it until 2035.
Damn.
You got to think about it. You got to make a whole new game, new engine. It's a live service game. You got to plan out. There's a whole lot of things you got to work through. And I could be wrong. I am not a game developer, obviously, but to me, that's the timeline that I would think, especially to make a AAA live service game in to this day and age. Takes a while. It's not nothing that happens fast. I mean,
that's tough right there, man.
Destiny 1, they started development in Destiny 1 in 2010, 2009.
Yeah.
And it dropped in 2014, and they had to scrap stuff to get it out in time.
Yeah.
So if they would have actually, because remember there's Saturn was supposed to be in Destiny 1 or the Dreadnought. There's a bunch of stuff supposed to be in vanilla, but they had to cut it to get it out in time. So if we would have gotten it, the actual game that we were supposed to get, we probably wouldn't have seen it until 2016, 2017.
Very true. Antique says the creativity level has gone down in the gaming industry. We only get about 6+ Game of the Year games a generation or so out of the thousands of games released throughout the whole current gen.
He's right. Game studios are afraid to take chances. They're afraid to take chances because if you're a AAA studio, you spend AAA money to make a AAA game and it doesn't work.
But if you notice, a majority of the Game of the Year games this generation have been small studios.
Yep. You're looking at Expedition 33. It Takes Two came from an indie studio.
Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gate.
Well,
Larian kind of marches. They're kind of like CD Projekt Red, man. They kind of just march to the beat of their own drum, kind of thing. But they'll make games. They don't worry about deadlines. The game will come out when it's ready. That's kind of how Larian is. Like, it'll come out when it's ready.
My thing is this: like, I'm all for game trailers and letting your audience know that you need to know about this. But don't drop trailers for games that are nowhere near being done.
That's just exaggerating. I know what you're talking about. And
I'm pissed, bro.
We see that a lot at the Game Awards. That's what I was trying to tell y'all when we were watching it. Like, look, don't get too excited about some of this stuff. Yeah. Because I guarantee you it's 2 or 3 years out at best.
Like when they drop
the Old Republic, as soon as I saw that, I'm like,
bruh. Like, I'm like, y'all
2030. 2030.
2030, really?
I called 2030 before they even said anything. I was like, 2030.
I know you said that. I was like, no, it's not gonna be 2030. They're like 2030. I'm like,
2030. I'm like, bro.
I'm like, what is happening?
It's just to generate buzz, right? But the interesting
buzz, the problem with the buzz, though, especially around Star Wars, and especially around the Old Republic, is you've been dangling that message. I don't care what studio who has whatever. But the Old Republic games have been getting thrown out, and they just lob a grenade over the top of the fence, bro, and throw these teasers and drops and all this stuff. And then they flatline after that and be like, oh, we're still working on the game, but we're not really working on the game. But oh, we had some hiccups and we had to make some studio shifts, but the game's still alive. But we have to leave.
And it's different for every studio, right? Like Bethesda would drop a trailer for a game and it'd be 3 months out. I remember Fallout 4, the first trailers for that. It came out that November, and I was like, oh shit.
That I like. Because I don't even know the game's coming, but you're like, boom, and you just see the trailer, you're like, oh my god, this looks amazing. Like, I get it. Some studios are like, they don't want to risk that because if there's bad reception out there, they have time to go back and make the adjustments. But if you're doing it so close to release, the most you can do is a patch, and if people don't like it, your game doesn't sell. But even so, who really cares at this point? Because hell, you're doing all that, you're releasing your game thinking it's the best thing since sliced bread, and it still gets closed and shut down. So, which way are we going? Just
that's true. Interesting. For Destiny, I don't think we're going to see Destiny 3. I just don't. I don't. I think but do I think they're done with Destiny? No. I think they're going to do something.
Okay.
They're going to do something. What that is, I don't know. Now, they could shut me completely up and do Destiny 3. They could, or Destiny Infinity or Destiny Forever or whatever that rumor thing was. But I don't know. And it may just be in maintenance mode until it's no longer profitable for them to keep the servers up. It's a 10-year-old game. They only promised content for 10 years. If you really think about it, when Destiny came out in 2014, they were like, we plan on this being a 10-year, Destiny to be a 10-year franchise. It's been 12.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
So in reality, I mean, they did what they said they were going to do.
Yeah.
Doesn't make it hurt me less. Like, if it was up to me. The thing about Destiny, and the reason this is so surreal to me, is that Destiny was always like that old friend you could go back to, knowing that it was there. You saw there was comfort in knowing that you could go back and see what's going on in Destiny.
Yeah.
And now that it's kind of going into maintenance mode, it's not shut down, but it's still it's still a bummer because it's not going to get anything new. That it's going into maintenance mode, and that there's not going to be anything new.
And it's been like that game that even though we haven't played it in a couple of years, that we always would just come back to and be like, it still feels the same.
Like that old friend that welcomes you home.
Yeah. It was always that, because it was always the game that was welcoming to everyone we played with, and we had all those memories for. So it's just, I would hope that, very wishful thinking, that we get, if it's not a D3, but it's something within the same universe and it's the same style, anything, even if the story's done, the universe isn't. So there could be something deeper in the galaxy that we don't know about that you could spin the game off of with the same kind of gameplay 100%. Style that's on a better engine, a newer story, similar powers, maybe, an offshoot of the Traveler, and there's something else going on, and it just becomes this interconnected thing, which creates an even larger lore of the game. I think that would be awesome to see if they did that. If you want to name it Destiny 3, cool. If you want to do it something else, but it's a offshoot of it, that's great. But I don't kill it.
Yeah. I would take a prequel. Let me play through the Collapse. I would love to play through the Battle of the Six Fronts or the Battle of Twilight Gap and fight alongside Shaxx.
That would be dope. That would be dope, to where it's a little bit more in depth, where the story becomes a little bit more ingrained into the game than it just being like lore drops and triumphs and all that stuff and things that you can go and read. It becomes more of, I'm not going to say it's kind of like a Mass Effect or anything like that by any means, but something that kind of gives us just a little bit more to engage with the game and kind of get more vested into it outside of just Strike and Crucible and raids, etc. Get a little bit more depth. I think we have enough horsepower in these consoles and PCs now to where we can do that.
And there's just so much there, man. Like, you could go back to the time, because the first Guardians were evil.
Yes.
I don't know. Yeah, like being able to play through that, like, because they could keep that going for 10 more years, because there's so much lore.
Yeah.
If we start with the first Guardians after the Collapse, or even before, or whatever, and you could have, a raid could be Battle of the Six Fronts or the Battle of Twilight Gap, or you could actually live through some of these stories about, like, or for example, like how Cade became one of the Vanguard, or the first fire team to enter Vault of Glass and what happened to them. There's a lot there that you could literally play through, and it would work. But they've got to want to make it.
Antique says, well, rest assured, gamers will fight for Destiny to stay alive in the UK. Can't speak for it here in the US, unfortunately. Yeah.
True.
Well, we're definitely fighting, and this is why we did this, y'all. So, we just wanted to share we appreciate y'all tuning in and,
Indeed.
Hanging with us for a little bit to kind of go and talk about Destiny, because this game is more than just the game. This is why me and Greg
it's one of the games that made us.
That's
what I like to say.
We've had a running group chat for over a decade, and some people have come and gone, but our original fire team is that group chat.
Yep.
It's hasn't changed. Thousands upon thousands of text messages in that group chat, and it's all been gaming related, family related, Destiny related for sure. Tons of memes and pictures we've had over the years that are all Destiny related, and everything like that. So, hey, if y'all like this, maybe we'll do another one of these for sure, because we love talking about just our time gaming together and all that
Indeed.
stuff. Greg, let them know how they can find you.
Yep, I'm everywhere on the internet as Zelda Hat Guy. I was gonna try to put a video out this week, but just had some stuff come up, man, so that I had to handle, so I was not able to do so. But we'll try for next week. But yeah, man, just go and whatever your destiny is, go chase it. Set back. I'm sorry. I mean, sit back and reminisce about the games that made you. Like, this is one of the games that made us. Well, no matter what that game is, I mean, sometimes it's good to just sit and reminisce about it and remember why we love the game.
Yeah, I can dig it. I like that, man. I'm Elliot. You can find me at NeoNess on YouTube and _Neo_Ness on Instagram. We appreciate y'all tuning in to Chasing Destiny. We may do another one, maybe after we've had some time to play that update next week and see how it goes. But we'll check y'all later on. Peace out, y'all.